Hello to those who chose Improv 4. Came to this reading to find out what magic best suits you, and I'm going to tailor different sections to this particular question. Now, tarot tells me what they need to let me tell you, so I noticed in some of them I needed to tell you like life lessons or your calling in this life and stuff. So let me tell you what this topic is in the spread that you're looking at right now. This is going to let you know what element to use in your magic. First, my intention was like maybe water, earth, air, fire, one of those. This is not the case at all. It's telling me, yes, that, and what should you use? Like, what object should you use in your practice? Should you use bird bones? Should you be wearing a particular type of clothing? With the Six of Wands card, I'm getting the song Red Bone by Childish Gambino. So the words I'm channeling is Hinduism, Buddhism, voodoo, and I feel like I'm not well educated whenever it comes to African cultures, African religions, traditions, and stuff, but I definitely am getting African stuff. Just getting all walks of life. I'm getting Egyptian, Celtic, Cuban. So I guess it got a really eclectic pile, or people who are coming from all walks of life. I feel like you're the epitome of diversity. I know that sounds stupid now that I'm saying it out loud. I just meant like what you look like and the way you go about life, the way you go about your religion, let's say your traditions, your spiritual workings. You're very open and people can see it with Egyptian, right? You wear the Eye of Ra and you have a necklace that showcases that. I think you're an inspiration for others to be more open and accepting about their worldview. I swear to God, I want to get to the answers to the question about what's your magic, but it's telling me like you feel like you have a very soft perspective on life, meaning that you don't like to be confrontational whenever it comes to your views. You definitely would not be in politics because it's like you hearing the other argument and it's like, I understand there is truth to that. There's truth to everything to you, but you have your own truth and people have to respect that too, just like how you're going to respect an opposing view. I'm getting like a gentleman or like a gentlewoman vibe you get off to other people. And I think that you're just very well respected. One last thing I'm getting from this card, picturing a male who is like Spaniard, has that little mustache, has some sunglasses on, and the way that he's talking English, but like he has an accent and he feels very calm and serene and suave, laid back. Picture that scenario going on, and that's the kind of vibe you give off to other people, or that's specifically how you look to other people. I feel like people who have chosen this pile are more men than women. So your element is earth that you should do with your spell work, and the chakra you are well connected with is the third eye chakra. I'm getting that from the high priestess. I feel the need to explain this, so maybe this can tie into your childhood or your spiritual experiences. But what I mean by like your third chakra is like your main chakra. It's like what defines your capability, what you're comfortable with tapping into. You know how some people they're just not, you can tell they're in tune with their heart or with their sacral, with their root. It comes out in a very positive way, like a balanced root. Like it just shows when you first started or went into spirituality, your third eye chakra was the one pieced you together. I think looking back at your childhood, it would make sense about certain instances happening because your third eye chakra was the one that was the leading way. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, not that it's superior at all, just you like to tend towards it, you like to go towards it. Above the High Priestess card is the emotions. Spirit is telling you that if you want to do any spell work, any intent to manifest, spell work and manifestation starts from you even having that thought, that seed in your head, and you having confidence, and then you go into it, and then you make, you set your intention, whether you're using products like whatever for your spell work or you're writing, however you manifest. Okay, channel spirit, tap into spirit. I'm just letting you know that you have to literally set aside your personal feelings, set aside whatever happened to you throughout the day, and focus on that attention. You, it's a bit harder than others to manifest and to have successful progress with your spell work because of that. I don't know why for you emotions cannot be a part of any of your manifestations or spell work. This kind of ties into your third eye chakra being like the one that you lean towards. Try to focus on elements of the third eye chakra. I think you should look that up if you're interested because I'm not too well versed into what exactly that is. But just emotions are not it. Also, with the only beings in reverse, I think you have the tendency to be a gossiper, provoked by things because you're making assumptions and you're very vocal. So, especially with the Six of Wands, I think you're a very extroverted people, or you at least like to have a lot of people around you to rely on. I think that's the downside to your personality is just you talk too much. You don't know when to filter or when to stop. And I think this is coming up in this magical reading because I think you're just creating bad karma for yourself, to be honest. And the more bad karma you create, the more likely a manifestation or spell work is not going to go through or is going to backfire. The saying in my culture is ojo. Whenever you have bad thoughts or ill intent towards people, and then you look at that person, you see him in real life, and you just give them the ojo, like which is the eye, the evil eye. If you were to do that, I feel like that would backfire. Probably 3 or 10 times. These emotions, you gotta leave it out and control your mouth. Okay, I'm gonna go down here, and this is the Lover's card. Spirit is giving you props. Whatever you believe in, some people work with deities, some people just believe in like one God, and going the flow with the universe. You're a very good follower, a very good listener. You do what needs to be done. If they give you a task, you complete it. You're very reliable, you're punctual. I'm getting the phrase like, how can spirit not love you? Because you're just such a lovable little child. Not like a child in a bad way, I meant like a loving little child of God. They love your approach towards life. Even though I did say about the emotions and the ojo, you should watch out for that in general because Spirit loves you and admires for you for the person that you are, how far you have came, the lessons that you have already overcome and are you projected to overcome. You always have Spirit on your side. I feel like that's in a sense like a good luck charm and like blessing for you because they tend to favor you. With the lovers and the flamethrower in reverse, I'm getting that you're a manipulator. You know how there's different kind of manifestors or recently I started learning about that body chart. For me, I'm a manifesting generator. They give you a name and you're a manipulator. So maybe you should look into like a body chart. You have not tapped into your full potential as a manipulator. Your manifestations haven't really came true because of that. I was getting specifically a manipulator because that is the general reading, right? But if you were to just get to know that body chart, what your particular type of manifestation would work for you, it would boom. As soon as you start manifesting the correct way, you are going to, I'm getting goosebumps. Massive rewards all at once, like fiscal abundance, spiritual abundance, like nonstop. It seems like you're a fountain of money. Money just comes to you like crazy. But this feels like nonstop, and this is for you have a lot of untapped good karma coming towards you, and it's because you don't know how to manifest correctly. Please look into that so that way you can receive the abundance that you deserve as soon as possible. Okay, so this next section is going to be the planets and the crystal and or stone that I chose out for you. It's supposed to represent the kind of magic you have. Spirit, let me know what to intuitively write because there's like a lot of information. So I would say pause it, and I'm going to show each one on the screen because I know you cannot see like at all. I'm going to start off with this Earth. So you got Earth, Mars, and you got the Bloodstone. Immediately I'm channeling you're a very, very smart person. You remember how I ended off the last section with your manifestations are going to come in massive like waves, specifically physical and spiritual abundance that needs to be given to you already. This kind of feels like there is a dam and there's that wall that's keeping up the dam, but you're actually meant to break the dam. If in this life you don't break the dam, then in the next life you will, but you deserve to have it now. Like, Spirit really, really wants you to receive specifically physical abundance for yourself in this life. Yeah, with this takes on divine aspect, God or goddess who cares for all Earth's creatures. Everyone is rooting for you. Everyone is cheering for you constantly in the spirit realm. I'm not even surprised in the physical. I saw that there was a lot of people surrounding you. You're just meant to literally just sit there, put literally the most minimal effort to you. But I feel like you're a genius. I feel like you're freaking smart. Here's my chessboard. I'm just moving my chess pieces, and to you, it's like what, 2 hours of work, and you end up receiving like $1 million. To others, they don't know how you do it. They think that you're on a whole other level, like a whole divine being level. Other people, other spiritual people probably see you as, especially once you get older, true embodiment of a human form of what spirit expects, what spirit would love for everyone else to be. That's what I mean. And since you're living so in alignment and so in tune, that's why you're receiving so much massive physical abundance. I feel like I'm stuttering. Sorry. It's just, I don't think you understand. Like, you're meant to be rich, rich, rich in this life. With these attributes there, I wrote growth, feminine, prosperity, motherhood, birth, yeah, finances, sustenance, fertility. You're meant to focus on the home life. It's not telling me what profession you're supposed to be in because you already know. You're going to receive massive recognition, amazing reputation, and so much money that you're going to do your soul's calling, and your soul's calling is to raise your children, is to provide for the family, do what your parents couldn't do. Now, I'm not trying to bash your parents. For all I know, maybe if you did come to this reading and your parents were amazing to you, they just did their best, but they were just in a poor circumstance. You're just meant to make up for that. You're meant to love and nurture your child and show them to be grateful for what they have. You're meant to be a great wife or husband. I'm just really getting like a traditional route. The deities that I wrote down would love to work with you so much. They would be very, very grateful. And specifically, if you want even more physical abundance, they would love to work with you. Now, I'm going to let you know that they want you to ask them for more physical abundance. The energy I was kind of channeling with you is that you're just real chill, you go with the flow. If you were to have $2 million, let's say, it's like, oh, like that's enough, like I'm content. But no, you're meant to have even more, even more, even more. So please work with them, please, please. Brown, black, and green would just be a good wardrobe color to have. And over here with a Latin name, and then this is Terra. I experienced this like life-changing high. I was on hallucinogen, okay? Got high. I basically blacked out and I was just seeing this word celeste, that is a name, but it turned into Celeste and then Celestia, and then it transformed into, and basically I just learned that we were in a matrix or just something where there's codes. You know how I said for me, what unlocked it at first was that name Celeste. For you, it's that word Terra. That's just a significant name for you. Or maybe you should name your child that. I don't know. Now I'm gonna start with the Mars. It says six a house of enemies, but this is Vedic. Spirit just keeps on letting me know like you're just so capable. As in you can handle so much, so much, so much. And you can take it and then transmute it. I'm getting that music from the movie Get Out. No, it wasn't Get Out. You're so beautiful. You really are. Honestly, I'm not surprised if you attract so many people to you. It doesn't even matter how you look, man. Like, your just aura exudes just sexual energy. You might attract a lot of people towards you who want to show off and like get your attention. If you haven't done this now in this life, you're going to master your sexual energy and learn how to harness it correctly. That specifically, you know how I told you you're meant to live like a traditional life? Maybe in your young years, you're going to be like an F boy, F girl, but then you're going to learn how to develop like sexual discipline. I'm really getting it's like a masculine pile, to be honest. Your passive nature is so beautiful. With all you've been through spiritually and in this physical reality, it's like a job well done. I keep on getting oh God, I feel like everyone loves you, even spirit. Probably like the golden child of spirit. This is why they want to give you so much physical abundance in this life because not only do you deserve it, but they want someone like you in power. Fight evil, show you can get there through being intelligent, hard work. You look at like the billionaire list and it's like, damn. And there's some of them who got there because of family money. And there's others who've gotten there because they literally came up from the freaking gutter and they got themselves back up because they never wanted to those kind of conditions again because they got that money. I feel like crying. Wow. I'm going to buy my parents their own home. I'm going to make sure that they never go through this. I'm going to make sure that everyone back in my childhood town is never going to experience what I experienced. Like, I'm going to donate my money. You have such a loving and giving spirit, and spirit loves that. Definitely just going to be giving out donations. Like, for sure, you're going to start charities. You're going to make an impact on this world. There's such evil in this world and there's so much money to go around and you deserve it. It doesn't deserve to go to those evil people, it deserves to go to you. And it just feels like you have nothing but good luck and blessings in your life, so you're going to receive so much of it. So the Vedic interpretation of Mars is Mangala. I think that's what it's called, and it says energy, confidence, and ego. I am getting spirit telling you that after this reading to look it up. It's going to link to your next spiritual awakening, or you're going to experience a mind like a massive idea you just never thought of whenever you're looking up Mangala. Goes to show how you're so in tune with spirit and spirit loves you a lot and you're like the golden child. I was randomly wearing it. I didn't know that I wrote any redstone like bloodstone and ruby. And what do you know? You have bloodstone. It coincides with Mars. These herbs and crystals I just wrote down, you should have them in your household and, like, specifically in your room, wherever you sleep. They will ground you, spark your creativity. I was intuitively drawn to write down rules the zodiac sign Aries, so maybe you're in Aries. Maybe that's your midheaven because this is all about physical abundance. I know that, and I feel like this is coincidental because, like, I so happen to have an Aries midheaven. What do you know? We're here talking about that. I feel like everything is meant to happen for you for a reason. Because I have an Aries midheaven, I was able to bring that up about the fact of the midheaven. I just feel like everything works out for you, man. Honestly, I know I won't hurt those deities, but I'm just getting not to pay attention to them. Okay. Last one is Bloodstone. I'm getting that song, Love is All I've Got, so remember that. Every single thing I wrote down here are the lessons you're going to be learning spiritually. Once you start having access to the spirit realm, astral projection, astral in the astral realm, you're going to be learning lessons around these. So I'm just going to read them out loud, and if there's anything intuitively that comes up to me, then I'll bring it up. Healing powers gifted by the gods and heal all things related to blood. The example I got from that was there's an anime called Bleach, and there's this girl. I feel bad, I forgot her name, but she's like so adorable in there. And she has like orange hair. She has like cute little clips. She has healing powers, and the way her power works is that she puts her hand over the person and then it creates like a little force field. It reverses back time. So it doesn't really heal, but it reverses back time, the state that that person's body was before. Reason why I mentioned that, maybe you're gonna have to deal with some lessons in regards to that with time, astral projection, and astral traveling. Okay, positive health, all related to blood, bone marrow, immune system. You are not going to receive good luck whenever it comes to giving away your blood or giving away like plasma. If you were to get in a car accident and if you were to go to the hospital, I feel like they would have a. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm just getting what I'm intuitively drawn to say, but you would have issues receiving blood, whether it be it takes them forever to find the correct blood to match you, or with your organs, if you need an organ replaced, you're not going to receive a great amount of luck whenever it comes to finding a good match. So, emotional resilience, heart chakra, and grounds the root chakra. Boosts strength, resilience, and courage, and protection, creativity. Helps clear negativity and brings clarity. These three bullets, I could describe how you come off to other people. This next section is going to let you know what magic correlates with your ancestors. I'm just would like to thank you so much, Power Forward, because the last reading was so overwhelming and yours is so chill and calm because of your energy presence. I'm telling you this out of guilt consciousness. Okay, so this pile, right, supposed to be about what magic correlates with your ancestors. I was in the middle of putting stuff away and I accidentally fucked up your next pile, which is the last pile. Your next pile is going to be what type of magics best align with your soul in this life. The magics of your ancestors, well, with the Six of Pentacles, they definitely bless you with good looks. Your ancestral lineage has a reputation of everyone being beautiful, everyone being gorgeous, either physically or they're somehow unconventionally attractive. Everyone in your lineage is not meant to be like each other. Everyone's so unique, has their own vibe, has their own scent, specifically, is what I'm getting. Definitely, everyone is meant to do different things. An example is you know how some people have a father or mother, right? Let's say, and they follow the same career that their father or mother did. That is not happening. Definitely not in your family, specifically, especially if you have siblings. Y'all are meant to do way different things. At least you know your children will be beautiful too. But overall, I'm not really getting any type of magic necessarily. Good luck and physical characteristics and physical traits that are blessings. Everyone born in your ancestral lineage has a duty to this world, and you might as well look beautiful while doing it. I guess that's how they see it. That's why they want to make sure everyone fosters their own creativity, their own special zest to them. Go over to someone's family's house, right? And then you meet their brothers, sisters, their parents. They don't realize it, but they have similar talking patterns in that family, a similar tone, like vocal tones or similar physical characteristics. Whenever it comes to your family, yes, obviously, y'all are not the exception, right? You'll have that, but it's eccentric thing that you don't see every day. That's all I know, okay? Whenever it comes to y'all similarities, like it's comical. I think that y'all would do great in like a reality TV show, by the way. Okay, now it's specifically talking about you and with the ten of chalices on the top. Yes, this is the rest of your ancestral lineage, right? But for you specifically, you were brought into this world with care and love in mind. I think the way that your parents fornicated definitely contributed to you being like a golden child in spirit's eyes, or for you to be able to live this abundant life. So I guess that goes to show, sex magic really does work. And in a way, I don't know if they did it on purpose or not. The reason why you're going to have physical success in this life, you're going to be able to live a happy life, is because of the emotional state your parents were at, the intentions that they set during that time in that sexual encounter. When I did the attention, I thought I was gonna let you know, like maybe you have like bone throwing in your genes, or you got voodoo in your genes, certain witchcraft in your genes, but it's more blessings that you have inherited because of your ancestors. And one of them, everything happens for a reason. I told you about Ojo, and that you would receive instant or like really bad repercussions if you were to talk down on people. It's because of the counterbalance of, if someone does that to you, anyone does that to you or talks bad about you, they receive the same type of repercussion. So therefore, what do you have to do to balance that out? If you do it, you receive that repercussion. That's a blessing that all of your ancestral lineage and whatever this generation has and will have in the future. This helps with the reputation aspect. I think that your family has an amazing reputation. Y'all are well known in the community. The most part really likes y'all as people, what y'all stand for, y'all's traditions and values. I feel like y'all are a bit out there and maybe eclectic, but I mean, it is what it is, And with the Eight of Pentacles, nothing is meant to tarnish it. So if someone tries to tarnish it, boom, karma. With the saying mean stuff and making people feel bad, and the Chariot card, which is those two old people, right? Is the new age that you're living in. I think there was a very long bad karma or like a karmic cycle your ancestral lineage, y'all's family kept on going through in regards to, no, just in general. Yeah, I don't know what it was specifically, but it's like, okay, well, this offspring hasn't gotten over this generational karma, so I guess the next offspring will, and then the next one, then the next one, and it's coming soon. Your children will definitely break out of this generational karmic cycle, or you would have broken out of it, and your generation would have broken out of this generational karmic cycle. You would know what it is, though. Okay, so the next one is, what types of magics will best align with your soul in this life. And I kind of fucked it up, so I'm so sorry, but I will take that into account, okay? I will start with this left side, channeling this with the Queen of Wands that you're seeing over here. You're meant to be an eclectic manifester, an eclectic person in general, and you're meant to explore this in your practice as well. You're meant to take a little bit of everyone's culture. Okay, I know there's such thing as a culture appropriation, and there's certain things that you just don't have access to, but I feel like you have strong discernment, or you're at least going to develop strong discernment. You have good restraint on yourself. So even though you clicked on this reading, you understand if you're even ready to even dabble into witchcraft, if this is not the time. But you'll know when the time is ready. And in that, in turn, since you're so in tune with your capabilities, like your discernment is just the same too. You're on point whenever it comes to your whole environment. Like, because I know I was getting that you're really, really freaking smart. you'll know, like, spiritually, what is okay for you to take away from a certain religion, from a certain culture, what practices you can take in. But I'm not really getting you being a traveler. Let's say you live in Africa, you're just gonna travel around Africa. I don't really see you going out of your country. If anything, the culture that you like to identify with, which could be have to do with your ethnicity or race. I just see you having like a huge urge of going back to that mother country where your ancestors came from, and at the most, you'll have the urge to visit there. Like you'll have a second house over there, and you'll kind of live over there a month or two, and then come back to wherever you're at. This life you're meant to teach your children, or maybe you're meant to be a teacher, right? In general, you're meant to teach people about your spiritual experiences, your spiritual lessons, and help them be just as discerning and intelligent like you. Everyone regards you as like a genius. Like, even I'm telling you that because you are. You see it as, well, I've just had certain experiences and I've learned from it and I just remember it. If I went to a college class, like, I just so happen to remember the whole lecture. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I just feel like you're just seamlessly lived like a smart person and you're trying to underplay the fact that you're smart, but just keep that in mind. You are very intelligent. What magic best aligns with you? I'm getting with the naked people art. Manifest things with art. You already have discernment. Like you would know with the examples that I'm giving which one would best be down your alley. Computer graphics. You like embedding a good luck spell in it and then making that the logo of your company. If you want to be a designer, whether it's architecture or with clothing, however you start the process of creating that home in mind or that cloth or whatever the fuck in mind, that in itself is the start of the spell work. And then you put your spell work into it, and then once it's completed, it's manifested. Man, you just really have like a huge arsenal of choices to go about manifesting positive things for other people. You purposefully putting spell work on other people to help out the masses. Like you embedding that spell work in that shirt that you made, and that shirt's going to be printed out thousands and thousands of times or created thousands and thousands of times, like mass manufactured, and then it's going to be in stores. People who are going to be wearing it, they don't realize, but they end up having good luck to happen to them, but it's because they're wearing that shirt because you embedded that in that shirt. You understand? And I feel like this is kind of giving me a mind fuck because I know that's one example. You can tailor it to however you are. You're a genius. You can, think about it. Anyone can put a spell in like a song, in a clothing brand logo, or in any logo that sucks other people's energies out of them to give it to that caster. And I did not know that existed until right now. Like, I'm seeing that spirit wants you to be a billionaire. Spirit wants you to have all this money and success because you're a good person, because you will use it for the good. And that's why I said before to fight against the evil in this world. Wow, that's insane. Oh my god. And what do you know? This leads to the Ten of Swords and the biting a rich person card. But the Ten of Swords spirit is telling you don't ever lose your roots, no matter how much success or fame you get, because with success and fame comes all that responsibility. And I feel like with the Ten of Swords, you'll often struggle with your mental health, struggling with the weight that you have to carry from all these responsibilities. I feel like whenever you get to this, wow, this is all linking back, like full circle. Go back to that mother country that your ancestors were from, or go back to your childhood place that you were raised in. Go back to your roots, because that'll help center you, ground you, basically help you get your shit together and tell you, I know who the fuck I am. Get yourself back on top in that boss bitch energy. Your impact in this life is going to be so immense. And honestly, you're meant to be a pain in their ass, to those people who have had generational wealth. Show them that a Hispanic can do it. Show them that a black person can do it. Show them an Indian person can do it. Whatever the fuck race you are, just fucking show them that you're not to be fucked with. And just because you've been privileged all your life does not mean that you're meant to feel safe and secure behind that money. Talk all your shit because you have your money. Treat people horribly because you have that money, You're meant to shake all these rich people in their boots, all those billionaires in their boots, because it's like, wow, well, we did not see Power 4 coming. We got to really make sure that we're going to keep this generational wealth, that people like Power 4 aren't going to take it. You're meant to scare them. Just know that, okay? And Spirit won't give you a task that you can't handle, let alone a fucking life lesson that you can't handle, okay? Now, this is talking about your children up here, and this is the strength card. Either way, you're just gonna want to be a family person. But really, it's a good thing you're gonna be a family person because I feel like your offspring. You know how I told you your ancestral lineage is very unique? Everyone is different, everyone has their own different life goals, very opposing from each other. Your children are gonna get into a lot of trouble, or they're going to have to learn a lot of lessons. They're going to really need help to be guided. Being a parent is a full-time job, and that's what it's giving. So yeah, this is giving like your work life, but then it's giving your other full-time job, which is being a parent, and you having to navigate the whole process. What Spirit would like to tell you with the strength card is I feel like I'm very much underplaying the issues that you're going to experience with your children, but with the strength, rely and trust in your partner. If you want to be single, if you don't want a partner, please have someone who will be a stable person in their life that will put them in their place too. That you both can like tag team and work with your children and helping them navigate these lessons that they have to learn. And yes, yeah, that's all I'm getting. Thank you so much for letting me read your energy. I just wish nothing but the best of luck for you. Clearly, you're meant to receive success in this life, in this physical world. So, yeah, amazing for you. Good job. I'm really happy for you. Please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a good day or night. Bye. Hello to those who chose in Pop 5. It's so cold in this room. This first section is going to be like 4 different sections. Basically 5, but I have 4. So, it's going to be a limit to use in your magic. My intention when doing that was like air, fire, water, earth. But no. Now, like, I'm realizing that Spirit's letting me know too what objects you should use in your manifestation work and your spell work, what kind of clothes you should wear, or it just varies. So let's just begin. With these two, I'm really getting that you should incorporate dancing or a dancing ritual in your manifestation or spell work, anything to do with physical movements, not really relying so much on objects, just on like your body. And then another analogy I'm getting with that too is like tattoo work. The tattoos you get on your body, you know how some people tattoo like runes on their body or sigils? That in itself is a form of spell work, but it's really like amplified. I just feel like you do really good in banishing and cleansing. Banishing spells could be cutting the cord, just I don't know, ridding of stuff in your life. Then cleansings is removing negative energies from force field, from your aura, from just internal, maybe even holistically healing your organs, your body, healing naturally. I don't think you like big pharma or just medicine or pharmaceutical stuff. I think you prefer natural remedies. Which, by the way, if you tend towards any of these that I just mentioned, it's because in this life, like you're living in alignment. So if you're doing at least one of the things I mentioned, or something similar, just with the wheel, I'm getting like all encompassing. In spell work, you can incorporate any earth, water, fire, air. I feel like in general, like your birth chart is very balanced. There's not really one that really favors the other. Just getting the phrase all knowing, all balanced. It's just novelty. I think you like the finer things in life. A way this can also manifest. Let's say you don't have too much money. You're still going to decorate your house very nice. You're going to clean up after yourself. You make sure that you present yourself well, even if you're going out to, just buy groceries. I keep on getting you dancing. Now I'm getting it in the King of Wands too, but I was getting it over here. They're both matching. Yeah, this is very short. I'm not really getting much more out of it because with the King of Wands, first off, your personality is very, very jovial. You're like bombastic. You're really out there, especially in your opinions and your views. In general, you're so freaking powerful. Like even in the physical, I'm not surprised if you love to exercise or play sports. You're like a natural athlete. There's also some people where this actually happens to run in my family. A lot of us are blessed having beautiful physiques, or like we don't have to work out, but like we have abs, or we have like arm muscle, or we have like leg muscle, and it looks like we work out, but we actually don't. Specifically for you, your metabolism is on point. I think even whenever you get old, you're going to age beautifully. You're not going to experience the hardship of what many others experience whenever they turn old, which is their metabolism slowing down really bad. I see whenever you're older, you still look skinny or you look fit. However, you look like now, it's still going about it still. If right now, if you're watching it, if you are overweight or how I said you don't work out and stuff, I definitely see as you age, you getting into fitness, you starting to lose weight, and then you loving to like shape your body, how mold your body however you can. But in general, I'm really getting like the brute physically really, really strong. The irony in this is on top of that is the Knight of Swords. And I think even though you're physically very strong and durable, you're mentally very weak. No, no offense, no offense. I just you're just a really, really reactive. That's what I mean. Like anything to do with your emotions, you're kind of like a newborn still learning. Everyone's different. However, your course of life happened. I think what this is a product of, you were emotionally stunted. Let's say throughout your young years, your teenage years, and even in the beginning of your adult life, you never bothered opening up to people, feeling vulnerable and being in touch with your emotions. And later on in your life, you started becoming more in touch with your emotions. You wanted to explore more that side. So it's like if you're reacting to things like a freaking teenager, but it's because you were emotionally stunted at that age and now you're trying to process it. I kind of see you struggling with that too. Like you're definitely working on shadow work, and I do see this even whenever you get older, you still having trouble with your emotions and how to really keep them under wraps. If that's not the case, you just feel things so intensely, like it's so triggering. It's so bad. Yes, like you may be physically strong and like you're like a brute, but your pain tolerance is like horrible. I'm not getting so much. You have mental health issues. It's just that, just you being very reactive towards the emotions you're feeling and showing it in the physical because I see you being very, very expressive. It's funny because I know this is supposed to be element of magic you're supposed to use, but this is like really not focusing on that because I already told you the answer. With the triangles in reverse, you're really good at triangulating situations. Now, people associate triangles with their parties, but I'm not even thinking about that at all. I'm thinking you're good at setting stuff up. Okay, so like you would be really good at chess. I think you're just really good at games in general, or like any physical or any mental games, Sudoku or like crossword. But because like you're good at those skills, you can apply it with critical thinking in your real life. So you can like set up situations to where things are more favorable for you. You've had to learn since you were young to do this, often rely on triangulation, forcing an outcome for someone to conform to an outcome that you needed in this life. You were not really blessed with good physical looks. It's either that, or even if you had a decent look or you were good looking. You just have the bad luck of people thinking you're scary, so people don't want to approach you. Say your aura is really, really weak and no one notices you. Like people can just walk, you can just walk into a room, people are like, oh, how did you even get there? And you're like, the entrance is right in front of your face. Like I walk through those doors and you have to force situations where you can get what you want, but that's you being very strategic. I think that you're a very self made person, and in general, I think you're just a very balanced person. I mean, so these next are going to be the planets and crystals that or stones that represent your magic. So I got Shungite and Citron for you, and for the planets, I got Earth and I got Uranus, and I'll be showing all of them because Spirit told me to write down certain things. I'll start off with Citron. And if you want to pause and read any of them at any time, like go ahead. Like if you think it'll help you in your spiritual practices. I don't know why I feel like blurting this out. I mention this anime so often, but I have not watched it in like months. But there's this anime named Psyche. It's called like The Life of Psyche K. The main character, he's a really powerful psychic. Like he can do telekinesis, basically everything but mediumship. Like he can touch things and he can know the history, whatever. His role model is this boy from his because he's in high school, so in his school that is the most normal person he has ever met, and his goal is to never stand out. His goal is to not even have friends around. He just wants to be alone. But in order to not stand out, just you have to be a normal person. It's like a typical NPC is what this student is. The things that this student says or remarks he says or the decisions he makes are so normal, and like Psyche like is a fanboy of him and just really wants to be like that. It strives to just be normal. He does not want to stand out. I felt like saying that because from that kid's perspective, if he were to find out Psyche liked him or was a fanboy of him because he was so normal, it's like an insult. Maybe you do have a low self-esteem. You would be surprised if someone were to really want to get to know you. If someone were to even like you, like truly like you, actually like to be around you. Citron, the second bullet says about the negativity and the phobias and the self esteem, but I think that's what you struggle with. So, if anything, you should have Citron around you. These are major life lessons you have to learn. Just have this crystal or stone, I forgot which one it is, around you so give you courage, to fight them, to fight these phobias or negativity or these self esteem issues. So, this is a general message, and I'm not trying to stop you from wanting to improve your life, wanting to improve your wealth, venture to career avenues, but I think there's a reason why I gave that example. If you're choosing this pile, it's likely that in this life, you're meant to live a normal life. So, you're not really going to experience much financial hardships. You're not really going to get cancer. Like, you're not going to experience any health issues. You're just going to live a normal, safe life. You can go ahead and travel if you want to. Obviously, that's not average, I guess. Travel to other countries, do whatever you want, but in general, the major theme of your life is like normalcy, like stability. Once I looked at the third bullet, which says a lot of energy, and that's when it really got me. Okay, so you know how it says there chronic fatigue, neurodegenerative disorders, which is Parkinson's disease and stuff, so thyroid and then digestive, skin irritants, and allergies. Out of all these piles, you are really susceptible to spiritual repercussions. Example, you're in your spirit realm, you're out there in your little home, you're doing your own thing, and then just an asshole comes by, ruins your whole house, trying to fight you, just burns down the wall, and you end up getting hurt in the process, okay? You're gonna wake up and you are going to experience a repercussion because that energy attacked you. You're really, really prone to receiving the negative effects of spiritual attacks on your physical body, and I think it has to do with what these are listed. The last bullet is solar plexus and sacral chakras with the citron. rules over, and it helps us stay grounded in our own power. And if it's blocked, you struggle to feel centered and confident. There was a lot of information about Citroen, but Spirit told me to write these down. And like how I told you, it's like your own finding your own sense of self. I think that's going to be a huge struggle in this life. Not that they don't think you're powerful or anything, but like they don't expect you to really know yourself or find who you are as an individual in this life. Like how I said, you're meant to kind of live like a stable, normal life. It's nothing too serious, really. Like, if anything, like, I hope this does not offend you. Everyone's special, okay? Now I'm going to interpret Earth. Let's say you have past lives. In this life, it's kind of like a side quest. No offense. Like, you're definitely not the main character. You're the main character right now, in your life, but compared to your other past lives and the ones you're gonna have in the future, everything I just wrote down on this Earth card is what you're not supposed to do. You're not meant to be self-centered. You know how I said in this life you're not meant to really find like your sense of self or something? I think it's because maybe because you were too egocentric before and now you're meant to live like a humble life now. You're definitely meant to be humble. You're not meant to really stand out with matters of growth, femininity at that point, prosperity, motherhood, birth, grounding, finances, sustenance, and fertility. You are going to struggle with these in this life. Apologize, if you're a woman and if you were looking forward to bearing children into this realm. I would say if you want to invest, I would highly suggest for you to invest in alternatives. Well, first see a doctor, right? But then they're going to tell you about the fertility problem. You should probably invest in like freezing your eggs, or maybe even having a surrogate. And these deities, which is Jord and then Demeter and then Gaia, they definitely don't want to connect with you. They're not interested in connecting with you. And if anything, brown, black, and green, I feel like those are bad luck colors. Definitely do not buy a house that its outside color is like brown, black, or green, or if the walls are brown, black, or green. Sorry, I don't mean to be all negative, but okay. Next, I'm gonna go with Uranus. You're meant to live like an average life. Honestly, not really much about spirituality is like coming through. Peaceful lifetime you're gonna live right now. At least you'll have stability. Like, there's a lot of people that are going to be jealous for you for that. But basically, with this card, you're meant to live at like a mundane life. Hobbies, your interests, your wants are going to be of Uranus. So I'm not surprised if you end up being those type of people who are really into celebrity gossip. Like if you end up making like a TikTok page or like a YouTube about like gossip on them, or like reviewing technology, talking about how to build a computer from the ground up. You're just a third party source. Like the first party source is that celebrity, is that computer, is the inventor, is the innovator, which is of the Uranus, anything of the Uranus. So is that politician, person that is leading the rebellion, but you are the person that is commentating them doing that. So maybe you're gonna have a career in that reporting. You're definitely not gonna be a writer. If you are gonna be a writer, it's about news. It's not about you creating a whole story with like a good plot and stuff. You know the crystals I wrote down with quartz, amethyst, aventurine, tourmaline blue, and topaz. I know certain colors are associated. Let's say pink is for love and green is for money or something whenever it comes to spell work, but the best results you are going to reap is by intuitively picking out what color means to you. Say actually black means love to you and then white means money. You are going to receive the best outcome because you have chosen that color intuitively, like what speaks to you. So I'm prefacing this because these crystals I just mentioned, if you try to utilize them in your life or you want to utilize them in practice, any type of manifestation, they're going to have no effect. It's not like they're going to make it worse. Like, there's just no effect. They're not really going to help you. So random. I know the colors is coming up, but it's for a specific message. So if you live in a country or if you're in America, a state that has a C on, a Y, and a blue, two out of those three colors on your flag, I think you're meant to leave that state. You're meant to leave that country. Yeah, you're going to find better opportunities. Also, if for some reason, if you want to join like sports, if your jersey is like two out of these three colors, or if y'all's logo is two out of these three, like it's just not, you're definitely not going to stand out. You can't use that triangulation. It's kind of like it nullifies your hard work. I don't know, that's kind of odd. Really odd. Okay, that's some shungite. This crystal is really emphasizing that you've came this far, you've gotten to where you're at because of hard work. If you are interested in higher education, right, and you're going to college or whatever degrees you want to get, you literally put in the work to study. Like you study for hours, but you do get the results. That's my point. You always get the results, but it's because of hard work. Do have that mentality. I'm going to receive this outcome, but it's going to take hard work, but it's okay. It may even be strenuous at times, but it's okay because of your discipline, you are living in alignment with spirit. If you feel lazy, you feel off your game, there's something going on spiritually or in your environment, whatever it may be, that's affecting your vibration. So fix it. The highest frequency you're going to experience, you're going to want to work hard despite the hardships because you want that reward. Think positively. And it says chakra cleansings there, so I think that you're going to need routine chakra cleansings. You can cleanse yourself, I mean, or you can go to a professional if you want, however you want to do it. Vibe really feels like slow and steady wins the race. That's the whole theme throughout your whole life. And I know that sounds, I don't want you to be discouraged. It's all good. Like, I have nothing but love for you because there's some people who are brought into this life who are meant to be something, and because they could not achieve those lessons, let's say your mentality, slow and steady wins the race, right? Because they could not master that mindset, they end up living a life like on the streets, on drugs forever. They end up creating or persisting karmic generational cycles. I don't want you to feel like you're not special because I was saying before that you struggle with your self esteem and stuff, or it's hard to get people to pay attention to you or to like you. I think that you are special. Now, as a joke on Twitter or something, people may call you an NPC. This does not mean that you don't have good quality. There's a reason why there are I don't want to call you NPC, but like, there's a reason why there's normal people out here like you. Before this, I mentioned that you were strong. I feel like I'm trying to overcompensate. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll just stop talking, but I saw that you were strong, okay? It's also encouraging you not to get into conspiracy theories. So, you know how I said social media, don't do a social media account on that. This life, you are not meant to be a teacher, especially a spiritual teacher. And the last thing I'm gonna leave off with is this last bullet. So it says, healed old wounds, old traumas, old emotional patterns, helps detox and purify negative energies. So, believe it or not, the life that you're living right now, there's not going to be anything substantial happening. You're not going to be a rich person. You're not going to have all these psychic gifts. But you want to know what? You may tell me like Naomi, then what's the point of my existence? What exactly am I offering to this world? Just by you being you, just by you having that mentality of slow and steady wins the race, you are healing lifetime wounds. Past life wounds, past life traumas, generational traumas. Just because you're steady, you are benefiting your lineage. You are benefiting your past lives and then the future lives after that. Do you understand? Other people look at you, and believe it or not, I think you have people jealous of you. You know how I mentioned Psyche and that normal person for a reason. Yes, it may have been an insult to that normal person that Psyche was a fan of him just because he was so normal, but at the end of the day, it's still a fan. Not surprised if you have haters or if you have a lot of people who genuinely like you, but it's hard for you to believe it. You just need to first tap into your self esteem and be confident in who you are and what you're meant to do in this life. And once you find out at least that part, then I think you're going to start seeing people for who they are and their intentions. You're going to really see like best friend like always has made side remarks, basically traits of like a narcissism empath connection between us two. And it was just because I'm a normal, like I'm living a stable life. They're out here jealous of that. They're jealous of me. Or it could be this person who has been trying to talk with me or flirt with me for all these years. I thought that they were like trying to play a joke on me, like a prank on me, but in reality, they actually did like me. Like I actually see now. Just be positive. So this next pile is going to be what's your ancestors' magic? So if you didn't see the before, up here is the divorce, and I think it's funny that Uranus popped out again for you in this section. On the bottom down here, it says putting my butt on stuff, and then shows the Princess of Swords. So I was getting sexual conquest or like sexual exploitation, but people would say it's exploitation, but it's actually not, like it's consensual. So I don't know if your ancestral lineage has a reputation of going around the block, the hoe of the town, sleeping around with this in my third parties, so cheating feels like a generational curse. This stupid game, the person was looking at it. You know how I told you you're grounded, you're stable. I feel like you're a very reasonable person. You are contributing into breaking this generational curse, making it go away from your generational ancestral line. I don't think you're going to tolerate it. I don't think you like it. I don't think you even like it whenever your other family does it or hearing stories about any of your ancestral lineage doing it. It's because it's unacceptable to you. But with the King of Swords, your ancestral magic has to do with the air element. They may have lived in mountains, or I'm also getting people who work in oil rigs or who work on the huge windmills, like those kind of jobs. Your ancestral lineage is very hardworking. I don't see wealth being an importance. It's all about the discipline and the attitude to y'all. But as for you, being stuck in this physical mindset means that your ancestral lineage missed out on spiritual conquest. They just focused on physical, on material conquests. If they were to only utilize the air element is a blessing to y'all, a hidden blessing that y'all don't even know y'all have. I don't know what that means, the air element. I think the air element, you see Uranus is right there. I think it does have to do with Uranus. If they had to utilize the air element in their manifestations or spell work, you know how I told you fertility issues? I think that it's an ancestral problem, and I think that would have been avoided. Like fiscal disasters or in general disasters would have been avoided. So I think the air hell element helps cushion your fall or helps cushion from receiving immense bad karma. That's a ancestral gift that y'all have that no one really seems to tap into. So that's something that you should look into. But it has to do with like, this feels more like protection work. Because I'm seeing you come from a family that doesn't care about spirituality, so there's no really magic that's passed down. You want to know what kind of vibe I'm getting from you? I'm getting a southern redneck vibe with the horse on the top, cigarettes, that aligns with Uranus. Uranus is, how I told you, you're kind of fixated on the main characters or those innovators or those philosophers, just the ones that make an impact on this world. You're focused on that, but so is everyone else in your ancestral lineage because y'all are just out here living a normal life. Or Y'all are out here living like a non lavish life, a life where everyone marries the boy next door. No one ever travels outside or leaves town. Everyone knows who everyone is in the town. Everyone knows that Bob is effing the neighbor, but no one's about to tell Lily, which Lily is married to Bob. Definitely like that kind of messy drama, messiness, really entrapping your ancestral lineage because y'all are stuck in that negative loop, you know? That's why I said specifically, and you know why that's so weird? Because you know how I told you if your state flag or if your country flag was blue, cyan, or white, two out of those three, you need to get out of there. You need to get out of there. And these are both blue and they have white. You can even say a little bit of cyan there, a little cyan there. Yeah, because they're just holding you back because you don't even, your children, you know? Can experience life from a whole different perspective and don't have to be trapped in this stuck energy that all of y'all seem to embody and endure with y'all's just it's just discipline, getting through the day, living paycheck to paycheck is definitely what y'all do too. So yeah. This last one is gonna be what magic best suits your soul in this life. That's so interesting how y'all got another swords card. I'm just letting you know in the first pile, Jojo Siwa came out in reverse. So if for some reason if you're drawn to pile one, you know what this is a sign. You should go watch pile one. Because that was a lot more like liberating and like standing out. So I don't know how these two would connect. What magic best speaks to your soul? You know how I told you all of your ancestral lineage had this air element power that they never tapped into? You are going to tap into it. I think you already have, I'm not surprised. But you were meant to tap into it, and that's your soul's alignment is with that air element. That's insane how, again, full circle. Because you know how I told you, like, I'm not surprised if you have a career on social media, TikTok or like YouTube and making content, that definitely has to do with the air element. And with the Batman in reverse, along with the Knight of Swords, it's like unmasking, revealing, shedding light to. This feels a lot about your career, to be honest. Utilizing that air element, that magic, towards your career because it's going to develop you good karma. So that's what they're really encouraging you to do. I don't know how you would go about it. This is the first poll that has not given me any type of specifics at all. But you should definitely incorporate air element into or spell work or manifestation work to your career. I'm so sorry if this keeps on repeating because I don't want it to sound like I'm keep on repeating that you're just mundane, that your life is just like it's not important because it is important. Let's say I go to Starbucks. Every single worker there is helping like with the whole process of me being able to get my Starbucks, they get paid a certain wage, which I feel like doesn't reflect their hard work because Starbucks workers are always in stress. They're always stressed. If they're happy, there's that one coworker that's actually showing their true feelings and they're stressed, you know, they're just putting on a face. And my point is like you're meant to build the path that the future generation's gonna walk on. What that could mean is like you're writing history books. Maybe something to do with social studies, yeah. Maybe you're meant to be a social studies teacher, shaping the future generation. If this is on social media, it's always going to be on social media. People can go back and click on it and watch your content. If you really do want stardom or fame or something, the closest you would get to it is a celebrity retweeting you, you getting a picture with the celebrity. You know, like you're not the one that's going to be their friend. You're not the one that's going to be in that career field. I feel really bad because nothing really magical came up, to be honest. Maybe you're not really meant to really focus on spirituality in this life. I mean, I would encourage you to practice protection magic because you know how I told you, you are going to experience physical repercussions if you ever get hurt spiritually. I'm gonna compare it with me in the spirit realm and stuff. I think I'm like a warrior spirit or something because I'm always sent to like fight stuff. I go, but even if I get injured, like I can heal myself in the spiritual realm, or I ask my deity for help, and then they heal. But I feel like with you, it's not gonna work out if you try to be a warrior spirit. I'm not even surprised if you're gonna always have trouble trying to get a deity to work with you. It's hard for you to hear God, feel spirit, or even have any psychic ability. So I think in this life, you're just meant to have a watered down version of psychic abilities, touch your toes into spirituality, but I don't think you're really meant to really focus on that. I think you're just meant to chill out, live your life, enjoy your passions, trust that you're always going to be safe, you're always going to be stable, be that stable person for everyone else around you. So, yeah, that was it. I don't want you to leave this reading thinking that your life is meaningless because it's not. I've tried my best to explain to you that it is not at all. So you are a really impactful person in your own way. Please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a good day or night. Bye. Hello to those who chose about sticks. I'm gonna be doing four little sections, technically five, but this first little section is gonna be on what elements are you meant to use in your magic. So when I asked this, in the other piles, I was like, okay, it's gonna be water, earth, air, ooh, like what's gonna go on? But now they're just saying how objects, clothing, different things can be utilized in your magic. Just know it's going to go into real big detail. I keep on getting the word avion, and avion is airplane in Spanish. You're just meant to like travel to different places, do different things, not live in one area for a long period of time. Or it could be you have like a stable home, right? But then for work, you just gotta leave back and forth, like out the country. Like I'm really getting far, like you traveling. And you're meant to live a nomadic kind of lifestyle, or you're meant to at least emulate that kind of style, that kind of lifestyle, I mean. With the difference card, I'm getting specifically that like you're a Sagittarius. What are Sagittarius qualities? I'm just thinking about Nicki Minaj, to be honest. She's like the only Sagittarius I know, so like blunt, adventurous, kind of restless too. Many projects at once, goal oriented. I think when I think of Sagittarius, I think of career, really caring about their reputation. So I think these are qualities and elements that you embody and therefore you have to embody in your work. I think you're just a really authentic person, like a genuine person. So whatever you feel on the inside is literally going to on the outside. However you're vibrationally aligned, whatever personality you choose to have, whatever mask you choose to wear to society, that reflects who you are on the inside. If you're not of high vibration, and if you don't understand what I'm talking about, this isn't you, just know that once your vibration starts raising, once your spiritual awareness starts increasing, you're going to start embodying this kind of energy. This is going to be you in the highest alignment. I'm just really getting the words bold and forceful. I've repeated that before. I let you know that before because I set the intention to only have my pals resonate now with high vibrational people. If you're so confused, just learn from the reading. But I'm really getting the word text messages from that card. You're an innovator, Pal 6. You really meant to raise awareness, create new strides. You're the one that people hire to start up a business, to set up a good foundation, and once it's running fine, then you go off and you get paid a large sum of money to start up a business and have it be successful and then leave it to the that's kind of like the vibes you're giving off. You wanna know what else this reminds me of too? The field of psychology. You can go down the path towards like criminology or the courts. You can solely make a living off of being one of those whenever they're having cases, let's say, and they need to hire psychologists or a psychiatrist. You specialize in analyzing them and then speaking in court. It just feels like it's not really that stable. Like that's my point. Even though that is a stable job, you don't have an office. what are they called? Those people who renovate homes whenever they look disgusting and then they make it look pretty and new and then they make a large sum of money. No, I'm gonna keep on interpreting. I'm sorry because I know this is about magic. I'm gonna get into it. I'm so sorry. I have to let you know. Once you find your career, I think you're gonna find it early on in life, by the way. You're never going to be worried about having enough money or living paycheck to paycheck. I think you're always gonna have a stable source of income because of this career. It's just really different from what other people would consider a traditional career path to go by. And then the last thing I'm getting from the card is that you're just a really sweet and kind soul. You really are tender on the inside. In your magic, you can use the air elements, so that can deal with birds or scenery, wind, or I don't really know what it is with the air element. To be honest, I'm tired, so that's why I can't really think too much. But another thing is using knives. Because I'm looking here at the Knight of Swords. Because that's like an anvil, right? Can't believe I even knew the name of what even an anvil is. But, anyways, creating your own masterpiece. This could link with, like, like voodoo dolls. If you do end up aligning, with your ancestry with that, you can go down that route. This could also be like making jewelry, incorporating spell work into that. Just really get creative with it, y'all. Y'all are a really, really creative pile. Eclectically, y'all are interested in creative stuff that other people may think that is like random. So, like, let's say you like tagging, which is like spray painting on signs or abandoned buildings, and then you also like to sell the pots that you paint. You also sell dog collars, and it just feels so random, like the little projects that you have where you make money off of it, but you love it. This is just the way that you live life. I really respect that. With the Knight of Wands, your family is actually really, really supportive in whatever you do, and they're really supportive in your career endeavors. And if anything, I'm not surprised if your family's very, very pushy, for you to get even more wild, like think even more outside of the box. Tune into that creative genius inside of you. And with that in mind, like, I think your whole family embodies the element of air. I'm telling you, like, the element of air is really, really there. You should really use it in your workings. Your family has career fields and the way that they speak. Like, I'm not surprised if a bunch of y'all are like air signs, air in like insignificant places in y'all's chart. I think of like lawyers, script writing, that has to do with the air element. But those are two very random things. I feel like y'all are very extreme in as in like you push each other to the limit to what y'all are capable of doing whenever it comes to y'all's endeavors. Any endeavor, like give it all you got. And I feel like your family's mindset, y'all's interactions have really, really shaped you in your career endeavors. So just give kudos to your family, man. Also, with the Six of Pentacles, something that will definitely help your manifestations and your magic work in general. Okay, so let's say we set out the intention, right? We want it to come true. Spirit is at work, and your ancestors will definitely be on your side to make it come true. If you honor their traditions more, I feel like your family household you were raised in didn't care about religion or didn't care about tradition or the culture where y'all's race or ethnicity came from. And with the Six of Pentacles, it's rooting back to that. And it's like, how about you show more respect to your ancestors by honoring their traditions, honoring their culture, like dressing more like their culture once in a while, making food that is of your culture. Once you start doing that, your ancestors will definitely help your manifestations and your spell work come faster. Add like a little spice to it, but like a good spice, a good plot twist. I love this pile so much. Y'all's energy feels so unhinged in an amazing way. You know how some people have to work through stigmas, have to work through patterns that self-sabotage and keep them stagnant. Just stagnancy, you're the complete opposite of that, and so is your family. And it's so refreshing to see this. Here comes the Seven of Pentacles, and it does align with the ancestor interpretation I was getting. There are limitations to what you should do spell work on or what you should manifest, and one of them is love. Do not, Paul 6. I'm using my teeth in moist. Do not manifest love. Do not mess with that. I don't know what happened in your lineage or in your past. No, it's your ancestral lineage. The subject of love is so tainted that even if you try to do a good outcome for you or even anyone else you cared about, it will go left. Your ancestors have developed so much bad karma whenever it comes to love. Now y'all are kind of dealing with the consequences of that. So if you were to just need to let the universe do what does what it does, that's the best outcome you're gonna get for with love, okay? Please do not try to manifest love. I just do not want you. You're going to get a karmic partner. Your ancestors would want you and your siblings and your cousins or whatever of your generation to marry karmic partners because they need to pay off this karmic debt. So that's why the best way to manifest love is to just ask your spirit guide. Okay, don't ask your ancestors, dude. No offense. Okay. Ask your spirit guide, please help me out whenever it comes to love. I'm just trusting you. Let me know, like, am I ever going to find my soulmate in this lifetime, which I'm pretty sure you are, especially if you're on this reading. You're a spiritual being, you're high vibing, and I'm pretty sure they'll just try to help you out behind the scenes to be able to avoid getting being stuck with a karmic partner. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So I got a planet for you and I got two stones and crystals. You got Venus, got obsidian and clear quartz. I'm gonna start with clear quartz actually. I was intuitively drawn to write all of these down, so if you want to pause and read it or take note of it or something, like, go ahead, because there's a reason why I was told to write down these things, even though there was a bunch of information. So I think I'm talking with people who are skinny or who just don't struggle with gaining weight. Okay, well, I've been blessed in this life, even though I am young. I understand it's probably going to be different whenever I'm older, but it's easy for me to lose weight and it's hard for me to gain weight. And I just feel like you have that same blessing. This has nothing to do with your ancestors. This just has to do with you winning the genetic lottery. You just got the perfect physical features. I think that you are physically beautiful, or you definitely stand out. I'm thinking of, like Marilyn Monroe. She had that mold. That was the signature look. Like you got a signature look to you. Could be your hair. I don't even know what it is, this whole thing with clear quartz. Like, I think this just describes you as a person. Like, clear quartz, whatever the fuck I wrote down, you are the walking embodiment of these traits. Like, and look, on the bottom is Aries, so maybe you're even an Aries. I feel like I'm dealing with another all rounder. I had this in one other pile, but you have psychic abilities like all around. Some people only activate some of them. You have the potential to unlock all of them. But is that going to be easy? I do not think so at all. I think with clear quartz, I'm getting at this time that you're watching this reading, you've put in so much work spiritually that it is so. Words can't describe how respected you are with your spirit guides, the angels who have watched over you, your ancestors. Like, people see it and it shows. It transmutes in the physical reality. Your aura, everything around about you is piercing. If you walk in a room, everyone has to turn and look at you because it's so like piercing. This does not feel okay. You know how some people have like sparkly auras and they're so adorable and bubbly? Like, yours is the complete opposite. It's very like intense. You dominate that room. People revolve around you. You don't revolve around people. Do you understand? Like, you come off as very hyper independent. it's because of the spiritual work, though. You've done a lot of it. I'm not even surprised if you've cleared almost nearly all of your karmic lessons that you had to learn in this life already. And I feel like you're young because I mentioned that before, how about the metabolism thing. But yeah, but overall, you're just a really reliable person with the last two bullets. Over here it talks about Aries qualities, and it said passionate, ambitious, and can burn out without balance, but clear quartz can help regulate emotional overdrive. You're the embodiment of emotional control. In this life, you did not have to struggle with feeling your emotions intensely or having it cloud your judgments. Like, I'm not even surprised if you were not the one to be obsessed with wanting to have like sex when you were young with the gender that you prefer, wanting to chase after the gender that you prefer, or wanting love back. But this feels like in other aspects of life too. You don't want to go in the profession where you're gonna hardcore like stand out, like have all this money. But you do want a stable source of income, you do want to live comfortably. It just sounds like you're a very reasonable person, okay? Very, very reasonable. I like your energy. So now I'm gonna go to Venus. So funny, you know how I told you you're like an all-rounder? I think this just shows because look at the element, like it's just missing fire. So with that in mind, I'm not even surprised if you mainly have these signs in your chart. This Venus card and whatever I wrote down in the bullets are the epitome of who you are on the inside. Because I feel like this was showing how other people see you, right? This is about what really sparks you, what really gives you that creative drive. I just noticed that I was bleeding. That's so odd. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where I was even bleeding from. Anyways, I think this happened for a reason, right? I mean, there's a reason why I just noticed this now. Like, it's like a smear mark of blood, but in a way, I guess, pertaining to your reading, you have many random instances. Not like this. I feel like this is very minor, but like walking in Walmart and suddenly you hear guns going off, you just run out, and then you're just like, another day, another wild day. And then the next day, you're driving, and then a herd of birds just fly right in front of your car. So you hit all of them. It's just like, oh, another day, another crazy thing. And I just feel like crazy things normally happen to you to the point where you're just unfazed by randomness. It's so rare for me to tell you to go watch another pile. So yeah, look, love, passion, beauty, charm, joy, pleasures, and artistic inclinations, aesthetic. Yeah, that's all you, right? Like that describes you. But the symbol of female feminine work with Mars, I think there's a reason why it said that. So in the last reading was the one that got the planet Mars, and that was the only reading that got Mars. So that was pile five. And I think that's going to describe your future spouse because you're like the feminine energy, and that was definitely like oh no, it wasn't the last pile, it was pile four who got Mars. Let's say if you have a spouse, right, and if you're like, hey, if you could pick a number one through six, like what would you pick? If they pick four, just go watch it, okay? Just go watch it. Yeah, because that was definitely like a masculine energy. It says lumbar region. Sorry, I need to cut out my stuttering. Like I always stutter. You don't even know how much I stutter because I cut it out. Like I have to edit it and it takes me forever to edit it. Anyways, lumbar region, veins, throat, and kidney. There's something about this where it's like freaking like sexy. So I know that sounds weird, right? Okay. Hear me out. Okay. Okay, so the kidney has to do with like filtering out impurities. I think it has to do with things like that. So impurities have to deal with what we consume. Whatever you eat or the way that you drink, it's like fucking hot. The way you chew food, it's so attractive. And also it says throat, that's right next to it. And the way you swallow, or even like you have like your neck, or like your jaw. All of these are like your veins look like God perfectly placed them. So it says love potions and spells, relationship harmony, art, and then performance creation. So I think this blessed within this life. I just don't think you're gonna make a career out of it. So let me say something. Okay, so you know how I told you love? Please do not do anything with love for you, okay? Or your family. But you do naturally have a talent with helping others manifest love. So what that means is giving them advice, making a little cake out of love, and it could be like spell work for your friend, for love for them. It's just not going to work out for you and your family. Please do not, okay? But I think you do have a natural inclination to be great at it. You're really good at filtering out karmic connections or looking for the red flags, learning from your mistakes in relationships. You're really good at self-reflecting, I'm telling you. Like I'm not surprised if you have never danced before and you just decide to take a dance class and you're like the one of the best ones. But yeah, I think that sky blue and rose, because those are the colors, would look really good on you. Would really bring out like the qualities that you already have, because I think you're already a gorgeous person. Yeah, and then it says copper, turquoise, and it has these gods that are written down, and maybe you should try working with them. And the herbs, keep that in mind. Maybe you should consume them. I'm getting specifically, maybe you should consume them, but I think it's because it says aphrodisiac. Maybe you should include it in bed. I don't know. So something like that, okay? Okay, so it says obsidian, right? And this is all the things you're not supposed to do, or something, or you're supposed to stay away from. I'm going to analyze it. I think in this life you have issues with your root chakra. I guess makes sense, right? Because I feel like you're a very spiritual person, so therefore it's like the complete opposite, and you're just kind of ignoring your root chakra. I think you have to do like almost weekly maintenance on your root chakra. It's like a lot of work to upkeep it, but keep in mind that I think it's because you're living a lifestyle that is not balanced. Because if you were living a balanced lifestyle, your root chakra would not get this damaged so easily or wouldn't need so much repairing. So please look at your lifestyle and see what you're lacking with whenever it comes to matters of the root chakra. So that would be like grounding and whatever the fuck. I think you have a tendency to absorb other people's energies whenever it comes to sexual contact. Now, you can say, well, no shit, Naomi, don't we all? Our exchange energies whenever it comes to sexual contact. Yeah, I get it, okay? You know how whenever people say like I just live with my demons, I just sleep with my demons. My friends are like it's just them making jokes about it. But then let's say you sleep with that person. Okay, I'm not joking. You will literally take our demons. They'll be good. They'll be fine. They'll be cleansed. They'll be like, wow, like where are my demons at? I kind of miss them. And but it's because you absorbed it. So you end up having to deal with it, which I feel like is totally okay. I feel like you're very, very competent and powerful enough to deal with it, but you're just like a sponge. Your energy and mind, okay? Please protect your energy. Also, with the matters of the root chakra, I told you like you're not living a balanced lifestyle. These three things, so powerful protection, grounding, truth revealing. You need to embody more of that in both your spiritual and your physical life. I'm not saying you're like a liar and you're so out of touch and you're so powerless. Your mindset has to change, or your perspective has to change. You know how I told you you're a very creative person. You just do what you want, you just go with the flow, do whatever intuitively comes to you. I think that's just the way that you work. You're just very on edge. You're very on point. This has probably caused you to lack discernment. You have to learn things like the school of hard knocks way, but you do definitely learn the lesson though. I saw that before. You're really good at learning your lessons and not repeating them again, but how about you just not go through that lesson and just learn from watching someone else do it? Or let's say you have to learn a karmic lesson with a partner. Honestly, there was red flags and they were really obvious. You feel like a little bit of an airhead, like I'm not gonna lie. It just feels like these are common sense stuff that other people wouldn't have had to just learn at your age. They learned this when they were younger, but because you're very unaware of your surroundings, you're kind of oblivious. Maybe you were raised with like a golden spoon, you never had to worry about if you're gonna eat something, worry about if you're gonna have pants for the next day because your only pants ripped. Something where you're just out of touch, but like with social norms, with social cues or something. So you have to learn really hard lessons with that when you could just change your mindset. You could just be a little more skeptical or not be so trusting. I'm just giving you examples. I'm going to move on, okay? I just don't want to stay on this forever. Yeah, you see, there's a reason why I, from this point to like the third point to the second point, and now it's the fourth point. So embrace who you are, rid of old traumas, let go what doesn't serve you. You have a difficult time of letting go of people who don't serve you, not in relationships. I think with love, you're okay, to be honest, but like with friendships, platonic relationships, you struggle realizing like who should or shouldn't be in your environment. I think this is like a healer thing, a trauma bonding thing that you're so used to. I think you like healing people. You have a lot of people around you in your space. Being a fixer, you like to help them fix their problems when honestly, you need to call back your energy and stop doing that. Moving on to the next one, which is healthy circulation, digestion, gallbladder. I know it says all that stuff, okay? But you have a gift of being a healer. That can manifest in so many ways. I know what you're probably thinking of is like putting your hands over someone's tummy because they have a little tummy ache, and then you use your energy to make it go away. Yes, you could do that, but I'm thinking of so many ways. Like I'm thinking of you using like food magic and then giving it to that person so and then after that their tummy ache goes away. You making a concoction of herbs. There's many ways you can go about this, but there's something where you're really fascinated in the art of healing, but this kind of feels like a side quest. Like this kind of feels like you're not really focused on that. It feels like you're helping to heal others. This life you're not gonna suffer with major health issues. If you do, it's only for like a certain amount of time. It's not going to be chronic. You know how before I mentioned that you should watch Pile 4? It could describe your future husband. Over here, down here with the last three bullets, I think that has to do with the person that you're meant to live with for, this lifetime. I think your person is the opposite, as in, you know how I told you struggle with your root chakra? It's the complete opposite. They do not struggle with their root chakra. They're very calm. Okay. If you're gonna go watch Power 4, have this in mind because it's a general reading. This will tailor more to your future spouse. They're very grounded and traditional. Opposite of Uranus, which is like Saturn. They like the color red. You know how I just told you negative qualities about you? They completely compensate for that. And if anything, probably your positive qualities I let you know about is what they struggle with. And just know that once this soulmate or whatever you want to call it, some people believe in twin flames. I don't, but so be it. I don't give once they enter your life, it just feels like a sense of satisfaction because it's like I can finally be myself again. You've struggled with people doing you dirty, using you for your kindness. These negative energies, negative vampires, what energy vampires I mean, and because you have this person in your life, you're not gonna have to worry about them anymore. You really aren't. It feels so nice. This is such an amazing reading. Like, what the fuck? This next pile is going to let you know what magic aligns best with your ancestors, and I like a lot. You had a lot come out for you, starting from the bottom to the top, and you know what is so weird? There's a reason why I mentioned pile for your future spouse because this like links to them again. Because look, it says getting married, and I was getting that that was what the mirror was reflecting in that card. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles. It is in reverse, but I mean it's up there. Down here you have the Five of Cups in reverse, and then this is the Prince of Wands in reverse. And then you have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Then the Four of Wands in reverse. And ironically, I mean, I do intuitively read though, but that is about marriage and it aligns with the getting married. But this was supposed to be about your ancestors' magic. Maybe they sacrificed this portion to be about your partner because this is not about them. Could be that you already know your ancestral magic. You're already doing it. Like there's nothing more you need to know. I think it's more of that, yeah. All the boxes already filled on your side, so instead of it being no cards pulled out, now it's just about your partner or your future partner. With the Five of Cups in reverse, like this was you. You're confused, you're disinterested, you feel a little shady. I don't know what that means. You just feel lost, you discontent. I think right now you're in a stage where you're still getting to know yourself, finding your niche. You know how I told you you're truly in alignment with your high vibrational self with that temperance card? You're going to find a niche where it's really specific, but I mean, you are making a stable income out of it. I think you just have not found it yet. So I think you're in the process of finding that niche, and whoever your future partner is, I'm getting there brimming with ideas, on fire with passion towards a career though. I don't even think they even care about relationships. They want to further their career endeavors. They want to make this connection with this person because this person knows that person, so I need the chance to ever meet that like they're really ambitious, they're really going at it, they're being a real go-getter, and you just feel more, you don't feel like a go-getting energy, you feel more like you're a little lost, discontent with the way your life's playing out. You just lack direction. I don't think it's lacking follow through, you just don't know where to start. The Four of Wands and the Seven of Swords are telling you these are like the signs that you're going to meet. Okay, look, I swear to God, the other piles did not have anything about a partner. I swear to God. So this is so specific a niche, and this always happens. Like the sixth pile is like special. There's something different about the sixth pile. So I guess it's this. I would say in a year's time, it could be less though. You're going to find your niche. You know how I told you, like, you're gonna start experimenting because you need to get in a point in your spirit where you're happy trying new options. So yes, like you know how I told you you're going to find a niche. You're still going to try out different avenues, different things. You have more of a zest and a spark like how your future partner does right now towards their career. So once you vibe to their level, whenever it comes with that, I think that's what's stopping for me off coming to alignment right now, your career. And once you're in alignment, you think, sorry, I'm gonna start whispering now. Yeah, you start experimenting, but then it's like, boom, I hit the lottery. What didn't I tell you? You hit a genetic lottery. This is like a career lottery, and it's like this is my field. This is where I'm going to be number one in. This is where I'm gonna thrive. So boom, you go into it, find success, and eventually once that steadies, once you find your footing in that career field, I want a family now. Or like I need to start having a family. But this is a natural urge you're gonna feel. And now this is your partner over here showing up as the Ten of Wands. It's funny, it's kind of like a mirror effect or like a yo yo effect. You were down bad before, right? And then they were all fired up. And then once you started becoming fired up, now they're in a sense down bad, or it's like their version of being down bad. But I don't think it's like how you were with the Five of Cups in reverse. They feel stagnant and dissatisfied with trajectory their career is heading in. The longer this goes on, I think your person is going to turn more towards spirituality. Or maybe this is what caused it, right? Especially if you were to receive a spiritual awakening, I can only imagine in the middle of your career path, it's you realizing like material things aren't all that. Maybe they were going towards a material job. That sounds dumb, right? Because if you have a job, obviously in turn you want money. But I meant a material driven job like in stocks or in business. It's them like being really disinterested in their job and they just want to find someone, ease their anxieties or worries or encourage them. I don't think at this point, whenever over here, whenever you want to, okay, saying get married, I know you want to get married, so this is where you're gonna start wanting to get married. But in their perspective, they don't want to get married. They don't really want to settle down yet. They're ready to have a relationship because I think before they were probably an F boy or an F girl. I think it's funny how in the last pile, the planet that came out to represent you was the Venus, and that was about marriage. It's really interesting how it's all coming in full circle. Meaning that you just don't see it coming. So over here is you. You're looking in the mirror, and that was supposed to reflect the getting married. You're gonna start dating. Y'all are not gonna see coming y'all meeting together. This feels like fate. Let's say y'all lived in two different countries and y'all just so happened to meet at this one restaurant at this time. This person like was yearning for a partner. I don't think they were looking for a partner though. It was more up in their head that they wanted one. And then boom, like they find you, and then y'all meet, and I don't even think y'all are even gonna realize that y'all are gonna get married. Y'all are each other's one. This feels so beautiful. You don't even know the potential of y'all's connection that y'all are about to manifest when y'all meet. It's crazy. You both didn't see it coming. I know that you had the intent of wanting to get married, but you didn't think it would be with a person like them. Same thing with them, with you. It's odd. Wow, this is a very spiritual reading. Okay, so this last one is going to let you know what magic best suits your soul in this life. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna I'm talking about that partner too, as fuck. I mean, I noticed that Jim and Josh came out, so maybe that's their name or that's your name. Your last name, first name can start with a J. With the four cups in reverse and the one weird looking toe, you have a mastery over the water element. You know how the temperance came out and that was meant to show you what you embody? I think this is with the color scheme first off with the card and then the water element. You are a genuine person from the inside and out. I think you know how to utilize your emotions and manifestations. You've mastered how to think to manifest. If this is not true yet, this is going to be true in the future, okay? And just know that you need to focus on the water element, truly what it represents, not necessarily you using it in your craft. Anyways, the more, once you master for sure, but once you start becoming more in tune with that water element, that's when you're gonna reach peak uniqueness. You probably think you're weird now if you're not vibing at this level yet. You're even more weird now, like in the future, and not in a bad way at all. It's just comical to you. It feels very comical. I feel like you're a very funny person. It just adds more zest to your personality, to who you are already. I respect you. I don't know why I keep on getting to say that. Maybe that's what people say about you. Because like you truly live authentically yourself, You express yourself. You don't hide anything. Now this is talking about your spouse. I'm so sorry it's taking up this reading. I'm so sorry. Spirit has to let you know this, okay? They keep on coming up as wands, so he's the king of wands, so definitely a fire sign, okay? This person thought they liked a gender, but they actually liked your gender. So that's why I don't know if this is straight or gay or I don't know what. This is not them being bi. This is them thinking, oh, I'm gay, but they actually end up marrying a girl, but that's the only girl they were into. Do you get me? Fit it to your situation. Or they kept on going after their ideal type was like a masculine woman, a masculine feminine energy. You know what that means? It's like a dominatrix or people who were ambiguous. So you didn't know if they were like, oh, androgynous. There you go. You don't know if like they're a girl or a guy. very much outside of tradition, so outside of social norms. Or maybe they even dated someone named Josh. I don't even know. But I think once you master the water element, there you go. Once you master the water element, then this person is going to align to your level. And whatever the water element is, they're going to look at it in themselves, realize naturally on their own, this is like the complete opposite of what I want, of what I need. I didn't really want that. I think that they wanted that type because they were projecting their wounds and their traumas, or they were trying to run away from them. And then they wanted that kind of person, but in reality, they end up liking someone like you, which is the complete opposite of what their type was before. That's why I'm saying like, I'm not surprised if it's like a whole different gender, but it's because they decided to heal, face their traumas, and work on themselves. And then that's whenever they realize this gives me the vibes of, I think it was in the show You. It's literally called You. I'm not saying like you as the viewer. The girl liked to be spanked with the red ladle in sex, like it would turn her on so much. But that was the same red ladle that her dad used to cook her breakfast and stuff whenever she was a little girl. Do you understand? I know that's probably it's weird saying it aloud, but there's some wounds to work with that, attachment issues. And I think once this person has healed to where you have healed, because you worked on the water element, then that's whenever they're going to find you and align with you. And to be honest, like whenever y'all meet, y'all are not going to get along for anything. I think you're going to see so many flaws in this person. I think you're going to tell this person to fix it. And I think this person is going to fix it. But then they're like, why are you such an asshole? Why do you always complain? Or I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. It feels like a lot of bickering. Them feeling like it's your favorite job to put them in line and tell them what to do. The last reading, they don't really know what true boundaries are in a relationship or how to actually be committed to someone. They're developmentally stunted in romantic relationships. And you have to teach them, but it's annoying. I don't think y'all are romantically interested in each other yet, though, because y'all are different opposing elements. This person's fire and you're water. I mean, hell, you remember the temperance card. I know that's just a Sagittarius card, but like, there's a bunch of water, in temperance. Like, y'all are just gonna be platonic whenever y'all meet and y'all are not gonna get along. I'm not gonna. Okay. So, this is what you also don't see coming. So, yeah, y'all are gonna be fighting and stuff. I think it's gonna turn into like angry sexual tension. I think this is gradual. This is gonna build. Then I think you're going to sleep with this person. They match all of your kinks, all of your fetishes. They just naturally embody that, and so do you about them. Y'all are not only sexually compatible, but like y'all have the exact same sex drive. You'll have the exact same fantasies. And then that's whenever I think this romantic thing's gonna get started. Did not expect to be doing love reading, y'all, but y'all saw the cards. That's how they came out. So please like, dislike, comment, subscribe. I'm so sorry you did not get to know too much about your magic, but I at least let you know some of it, okay? Please have a great day or night. Bye.